Respected brothers and sisters, lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam. Last night we basically introduced this season and this period of Aza and mourning of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Tried to explain that why we cry and weep and why shedding tears is so crucial and important, and how these tears unite us with the depth of our existence and souls, with the soul of Shuhada and Syed al-Shuhada. How these tears align us with the principle and message of Karbala, and how these crying creates shout of protest and resistance against Tawagheet and non-Allah, and how this school teaches us how to say La ilaha illallah. Inshallah, from tonight onward, we are not sure when our guest speaker will arrive or will he be able to make it or not. We are not sure really. So we're starting tonight, inshallah, a topic, a discussion, inshallah, and let's see how far we can go. I have recited verses number 11 and 12 of Surah Mubarakah Baqarah, where Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about a group of people who are not kafir, who are not non-believer, who are not mushrik. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ. And from people, there is a group of people who have Iman in Allah and Allah's Rasul. وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, but they are not truly mu'min. Okay. All that part of Surah Baqarah is very interesting, very important. How different categories of people and group of people, in response to Islam, Quran divides them. That is something different. I don't want to now speak and go in details about that issue. But about this particular group, Quran says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. And when this group of people who are not kafir, they claim that they have Iman in Allah and Allah's Rasul and Day of Akhirah, when they are told, La tufsidu fil arz, don't corrupt earth of Allah, don't create corruption and fasad in earth of Allah. Qalu, they respond and they say, Innama nahnu muslihun. Indeed, we are none but reformers. Exactly opposite to fasad. When they are told that don't create corruption and fasad, they say, but we are reformers, muslihun. Ala innahum humul mufsidun. Quran decisively announces, be aware, it should be known, they are the one who are mufsid and corrupt people. Walakin la yash'urun. But maybe they don't understand, or they don't want to understand conveniently. Now inshallah, in coming nights, I don't know how long, we will be discussing in the light of this particular verse of Quran certain phenomena in our ummah, in ummah of Islam, who claim to be muslihin, who claim that they are reformers. They came to make this ummah right. But if you look at their report card, you will realize what Quran says. Ala innahum humul mufsidun. Indeed, surely, beyond any doubt, they are people of corruption and fasad. We need to see some of these phenomena in our times, who are best examples of this particular phenomena which Quran is speaking about and explaining. There is a phenomena or a movement nowadays, a lot of talk is going on around it, on international level and on local level. They have created vibes right across. And after 9/11, 11th of September attacks on New York, these people came more exposed to the world and to the people. And these people, we know them with different names, but most commonly by the name of Wahhabis or Salafis or Al-Qaeda or Taliban or whatever you want to call them. Inshallah, in these nights, would like to analyze and have a critical understanding of this movement and this phenomena. Once again, I would like to make it clear that this discussion is not a sectarian discussion. This discussion is not to create divide in ummah and create fitna and fasad in ummah. But the purpose is to understand this particular phenomena, because this particular phenomena claims to be reformers of the ummah, claim to be people who want to make this ummah right, but unfortunately, outcome is very different. Discussion about Wahhabiyya or Salafiyya is not a discussion confined to Shia. Indeed, Shia and followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimussalatu wassalam are their number one enemies, no doubt about that. In their hit list, we are right on the top. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But their hit list does not end with Shia, but it continues and it includes basically everybody except themselves. Please understand what I'm trying to say. And therefore, I'm not very much interested in a particular Salafi or Wahhabi group or Jamaat or organization. What I'm trying to, inshallah, present over coming days is this trend and pattern of thinking, which is troublemaking, which creates disastrous result, has created in the past, is continue to create and will create disastrous results for Ummah. This particular thinking is responsible of bloodshed of not tens, not hundreds, but hundreds of thousands and not millions of people's blood and lives. And therefore, what is important for us to understand this pattern, their thinking pattern, where they are taking. Because maybe, what I'd like to say here, maybe someone is not traditionally Wahhabi or Salafi or whatever you want to call, different name you want to give, but in approach and understanding of this Deen and Quran, they also have the same, pattern of or trademark of Salafis. We would like to untie that where their thinking pattern goes, and that thinking pattern is shared by a lot of people. Their issue of being problematic is not something limited, as I said just now, not limited to Shia. With this Arab Spring in Egypt, in Tunis, in Libya, in Syria, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Iraq, in Jordan, in some other African countries, especially Mali, we find a strong presence of this movement. A strong presence of this movement and this thought and this phenomenon. They have created serious problems there. I am not only the person who is critical of this thinking. Mufti of Egypt, Sheikh Ali Jum'ah, for example, or Sheikh of Azhar, Sheikh Ahmad Tayyab, for example. People of Akhwan al-Muslimin, for example, which is the Islamic Jamaat, an organization of Egypt, they are highly critical of their phenomenon, their approach, their understanding, their strategies, their way of doing things. They are not out there in Egypt and Syria and Iraq and Jordan and Tunis and so on. No. They are right even at home also. They are right here at home also present. And we have seen recently a rise of this school and this thinking in our own society. And again, I am not the first person to be warning about it or critical about it, but our Sunni brothers and ulama and scholars have spoken against them very openly. MJC, Muslim Judicial Council, came up with a formal statement when they vandalized Karamat in Signal Hill and wrote their slogans over the walls of that Karamat of that Sheikh and Sufi and saint who is buried there. Muslim League also printed articles. Of course, people, some of our brothers, unfortunately, they say very, very strongly that Salafis or Salafism is the greatest danger or threat to Islam and Islamic community and society. But also, I will not hide and shy away by saying that they include in that list another phenomena also. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, decision is with you. I don't want to decide. You can decide for yourself. But this is really the truth. What we have seen recently, very interesting, we have seen recently is very active and strong involvement and presence in political arena. You know, because normally the way they come across that these people believe that religion is separate from politics. You mustn't mix religion with politics, politics with religion. No. When Imam Khomeini Ridwanullahi alayhi first time introduced social political aspect of Hajj, they shouted and resisted and spoke very strongly against that Hajj is pure ibadat and worship of Allah, and there is no place for politics and there is no place for social interaction and activity in ibadat of Hajj. Hajj, you go there to make ibadat of Allah, come back home. They argued by saying, La jidala wala fusuq. There is no debate, there is no argument, there is no discussion in Hajj as Quran says. According to their own understanding, debate, argument, discussion is not allowed in Hajj. Which debate not allowed? Which type of argument not allowed? Different people understand differently. Some people understand the debate which divides ummah not allowed. The argument which is divisive for this ummah not allowed. But a debate, an argument and a discussion which takes this ummah forward and unites them against enemies of Islam, How that is not possible in Hajj? While Quran again itself saying that Yawmul Hajjul Akbar is the day when Allah has announced Bara'atun minal mushrikeen, immunity from the non-believers and mushrikeen. While Hajj is a reminder of Ibrahim, and most important character of Ibrahim is to resist against Namrud, to break the idols. Again, I will take you back yesterday's discussion. Idols are not confined to idols of stone. You get variety of idols. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. But anyway, inshallah, I don't want to discuss everything tonight. Plenty to come and to hear and understand. But one point which I would like to make it clear for you, that separation of religion from politics itself is a political strategy. Please listen carefully what I am saying. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Those people like in Europe and so on, after industrial revolution and so on, but they said separation of church from state. Very strongly they, now again without going in those discussions, by us also there are people who spoke about separation of religion from state. But this is itself a political statement, please. Itself it is a political strategy. And therefore, if you look at present day Salafi and Wahhabi movement, no one, no movement, no school of thought, no ideology inside the broader Ummah of Islam is more political than these people. The very, listen carefully what I am saying, and I am challenging it, and I am saying it based upon historical facts, that basically the very existence and survival and continuation of this movement in our times is a result of a political contract and a political, agreement signed by their founder with another political leader, and this unity and this affiliation has brought them where they are today. Those who have read history of last 300-400 years, 200 years at least, they know what I am talking about. Founder of this school, I am talking about this present format. We will speak about it a little bit more in detail. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab came along with who? Muhammad ibn Saud, and they signed a treaty that religion is our job, politics is your job. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We will give you free hand and you must give us free hand. And that's how this movement started to grow and flourish. Because Muhammad ibn Saud found this is the most strong or most powerful tool to take over the whole Arabian Peninsula. Please don't be deceived by their very holy appearance of today. They didn't come in power without killing hundreds and thousands of Muslims across the Middle East. I can give you some details very, very quickly. That when they started this movement, they came together in a place called Ad-Dar'iyya, which was the first capital, which is the motherland of Ali Saud. They started their movement, and this so-called reformer, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, announced his ideology. What is his ideology? We'll talk. But just to give you a bit of a background tonight, ideology will talk. This ideology was capable. This ideology was very suitable for taking over the whole Arabian Peninsula. Therefore, brothers and sisters, salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Therefore, conveniently they came together. And he announced jihad. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab announced jihad. And just to give you just a very little list of what they did. In 1212 after Hijrah, I'm talking about early 13th century Hijrah, they attacked Syria. In 1216, they attacked Karbala. When I'm saying attacked Syria, does not mean they came very nicely. No, Allah. They attacked, they slaughtered, they massacred, they looted, they robbed. In Karbala, they demolished shrine and haram of Syed al-Shuhada. They looted and robbed that haram and people of Karbala. In 1217, they attacked Taif, near Mecca. It is there Saudi historian who writes, وَقَتَلُوا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ فِي الْأَسْوَاقِ وَالْبُيُوتِ. Allah. In Taif, they killed people in the streets and in their houses. In 1217, they attacked Mecca. In 1220, they attacked Medina. In 1220, again they attacked Iraq. In 1222, they attacked Basra. In 1225, they attacked Amman. You want, I can carry on. And then finally, they could manage to establish their empire. Mainly they were fighting on two fronts. On ideological front, under the leadership of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, by the name of Tawheed, we are calling people toward worshipping one Allah. We are calling people to leave bidat, shirk, kufr, kharafat, I don't know whatever they want to call. That was their justification. On the political level, they were fighting with Ottoman Empire. Empire which has gathered majority of Muslim states or areas and regions together under one flag. They were not in any way close to Shia, by the way. They also committed heinous crimes against Shia, by the way. Just to say in brackets something and let's move. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Why I am saying that? Not because of sectarian, but trying to say that issue and problem of Wahhabiyyat, Salafiyyat is not a Sunni Shia issue only. It is much more than that. They did what they did. But again, they were attacked by Egyptians, Pasha, Naudari Pasha and his son Ibrahim Pasha. And they could manage to defeat them. And for a short while they were pulled back. But then they again reorganized themselves and disciplined themselves and came back in full power, in full force, and established them the second so-called Saudi kingdom. When this new kingdom, which we see almost 100 years now, more than 100 years in fact, they have established this new kingdom there. Once they established this by defeating everybody, now without going in those history, I just wanted to give you just an idea that the way it appears that they only talk about Quran and they only talk about ibadat and namaz and don't commit shirk and always, they're not, their history is not that nice, clean and neat and without a spot of blood. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. How many Muslimin they killed in this whole procedure? Allahu Akbar. But remember, what they were saying, that we are fighting for Tawheed. We are fighting to establish worshipping one Allah. Why? Because they believed that whole ummah is mushrik at the time. Because they believed that ummah has deviated in half from the teachings of Quran and Sunnah. Very interesting, let me just explain to you. Why they are called Wahhabiyya or Wahhabis? Very simple reason. Because they are followers of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. Why they are called Salafiyya? Wahhabi is a title which is given by their opponents to them. That's not a good title. It's called Wahhabi, means followers of Wahhabi. But they themselves claim that we are not a new religion. We are not a new school of thought. No. We are pure Islam. But majority of Ummah did not accept their pure Islam. And therefore they called them followers of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. Alright. Why they call themselves Salafiyya or Salafis? Because Salaf means people of past. Salaf means ancestors. Salaf means pioneers. In Afrikaans, what we call them? Voortrekkers. Pioneers. Salaf. They say that because our Islam is a pure Islam, so we must go back to past. We must go back to past. That past when Islam was pure. Afterward, Islam was polluted, deviated. But again, very interesting. What is definition of their definition of deviation according to them? You will be surprised and you will laugh that mega deviations, which took place in history of Islam, they don't worry about that. But they are worried about that micro deviations which are committed by a poor guy in the street, an ignorant person who does not know. Maybe makes a mistake, maybe says something which doesn't appear to be correct. They will grab that person and impose on him their ideas. But mega deviations, they close their eyes very conveniently. They will say that you should not, ask for help from awliya Allah, from Allah's friends. You mustn't ask help from them. Why? Because it is shirk. You must ask help only from Allah. Why? Because a poor guy in the street, when he is in difficulty and trouble, he goes to shrine to one of these karamat and he says that this is a good servant of Allah, he's a pious man, he's close to Allah. So I'm asking that, may Allah, for the sake of him, please help me out. They say, that's a shirk. You're asking from someone other than Allah. But on a mega level, if you go and you make sajda to Taghut, of Taghuts, to shaitan of shaitans, to leaders of shirk and kufr, it is tawheed, no problem. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is convenience of tawheed. For them, Yazid is not a problem. Amazing, huh? For them, Yazid is Amirul Mu'mineen. But for them, this poor guy, as I mentioned to you, he makes namaz, for example, in Cairo, in a mosque where Syed Zainab is buried according to some narrations. They say your salat is batil. Why? Because you're making namaz in a mosque where there is a zari of Sayyida Zainab, where there is a qabr of Zainab. Mufti of Egypt, Sheikh of Azhar, I was listening recently, a month ago or so, over one of the shows, on TV shows, he answered very nicely. He beautifully answered. He said, you are saying in a place, in a masjid, where there is a zari, there is a qabr of Imam Hussain, qabr of Sayyida Zainab, or qabr of... if you want to make namaz in a karamat, let us talk locally. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. They say if you go make namaz in karamat, your namaz is batil. Therefore they wrote on Signal Hill, don't worship other than Allah. So if you make namaz in karamat, your namaz is batil. Sheikh Ahmad al-Tayyib said very nicely, he said, I want to ask from my Salafi brothers, when you go to Masjidun Nabawi, do you make namaz or not? If you make namaz, then I want to ask you, your namaz is valid or not? Because at least there are 3 qabrs. You make namaz ahead of those qabr. You make namaz right side of that qabr. You make namaz behind of that qabr. You make namaz left side of that qabr. So all your namaz, all your salat from last 14 centuries, all of that is batil. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is their ideology. This is their thinking. Conveniently switching from this to that side. And therefore, brothers and sisters, let me now leave it inshallah for tomorrow to continue this discussion. We need to go a little bit back in the history where, again as I said, we're not going to focus only in this particular group. We'll try to find the ideological roots of this problem. Yes, what we see today in name of Salafiyya, Wahhabiyya, of course, with the supervision of Saudi kingdom and Saudi monarch, these are the people. We will speak about this, so much to talk about it. These are the people. What I would like to emphasize tonight, that this discussion is not a Sunni Shia discussion. This discussion is not a divisive discussion. It's a discussion against a group. Quran says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. You will be surprised that the amount of books written against Wahhabiyyat are not confined to Shia. Plenty of Sunni. Let me tell you, the very first book against Wahhabi thought and Wahhabism is written by, who will you believe me, you will be surprised to hear that, is written by brother of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. They very much, of course, we will discuss. One of their problems that we do not make taqleed. Ahl Sunnah, our Sunni brothers, believe in 4 mazhabs: Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali. They say no, we do not believe in any mazhab. We act upon hadith directly. But they are themselves, always they claim themselves to be very close to 4th Imam of Ahl Sunnah, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Hanbal. But again, you will be surprised that how many Hanbali scholars have written books and said that these people, by claiming that they are Hanbali or they are close to Imam Hanbal, they have made our name bad. They have criminalized a school of Imam Hanbal. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Inshallah in this, their resistance under the name of Tawheed is the worst part. Inshallah, we will talk about it. But let me just connect it to Karbala quickly. This is the most, hurting point, that they raise name of Tawheed and they fight with those, Allahu Akbar, who are protectors of Tawheed. They talk about Tawheed, but they commit worst of the shirks, worst types of the shirk. Discussion will come in detail. They are the people who are stuck in words. Another discussion, another trademark of them, benchmark of their thought. They always stuck in words. They never can manage to go further than words. Literalists. As a result, whenever they come across to people of heart and people of qalb and people of love and people of meaning and people of sayr and suluk and people of ma'rifat and irfan, they got serious problem. Why? Because they cannot fly themselves. Therefore they say, whoever is flying kafir. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. They got one formula. Whoever does not agree with them, who does not fit in their frame, in their close frame, he is kafir. Simple formula. Whoever does not fit in their frame is kafir. If you cannot understand, you are kafir. If you do not accept, you are kafir. Amazing is this, that if you look at the great scholars and ulama and du'at and people who have established Islam right through the history over centuries. What was their worry, concern, purpose? They wanted to bring people to Islam. They wanted to spread message of Islam. Exactly opposite was this people's worry and concern. Their whole hum and gham, all their worry, all their efforts were how to remove people out of the fold of Islam. How to reduce number of Muslims and how to increase number of terrorists. How to increase number of mad people with no thinking, with no sight, with no understanding. Yes, brothers and sisters, my Imam, your Imam, who we are commemorating, is victim of the same thinking. When religion was used for the political purposes. Allah. Normally on the first night, we remember Hussein's traditionally. And why in Kufa? Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alayki ya Muslim ibn Aqil. Ya awwalu shaheed. Who is Muslim? Muslim is the first shaheed of Karbala who was not martyred in Karbala. Who was not martyred on the day of Ashura, but on the day of Arafah. That Gharib, that Mazloom, that Imam, envoy and ambassador to Kufa, who entered Kufa, thousands of people came to pay allegiance to Muslim. But same Muslim ibn Aqil, as a result of the politics and shrewdness of Ibn Ziyad, Allahu Akbar, was left all alone in Kufa. I have discussed before, if you can remember. You know, certain qualities of Muslim ibn Aqil are amazing. We just now spoke about terrorism. What is terrorism? I don't want to go in those details and discussion. That's a different, again, whole topic. But you know more or less what is terrorism. When we speak about Muslim ibn Aqil, Allahu Akbar. Muslim ibn Aqil was in Kufa. Ibn Ziyad became governor. Whole situation of Kufa changed. By bribing people, by threatening people, by prison. Those people who got a chance to see that series by the name of Mukhtar, they know, they have seen it, very much true. How he monopolized Kufa and overnight changed the situation of Kufa, social map of Kufa. So everybody knew that Ibn Ziyad is the biggest problem, the biggest troublemaker. Muslim ibn Aqil was living in whose house? Hani ibn Urwa's house. Hani was one of the prominent people in Kufa from his tribe, very strong personality. Hani was sick in those days. Allah Akbar. Ibn Ziyad, again, out of his tricks and shrewd diplomacy of politics, decided to come and visit Hani to show that he wants to pay respect and he's very nice with the people. He's a leader of very big Qabila Mazhaj. Come to see that. Hani and some others. They said, Muslim, golden opportunity. Listen, just 2 minutes I want from. They said, Muslim, golden opportunity. Ibn Ziyad coming inside our house. Hani is lying on his bed, sick. You go behind the curtain, there is a curtain. You hide yourself behind the curtain. Let Ibn Ziyad come. When Ibn Ziyad will come, will stand next to the bed, will ask, how are you, how's your situation, are you feeling pain? Is that? No. You go to visit a sick person, what you do? You from the back, from behind the curtain, I will give you a hint, you come out, kill him. kill him. Muslim said, okay. They concealed Muslim behind the curtain. Ibn Ziyad came. Listen, brothers, listen. This is the difference between Ahlul Bayt and enemies of Ahlul Bayt. Why after 14 centuries still we crying Hussain, Hussain, Hussain? Let me give you the secret. Muslim is hiding behind. Ibn Ziyad comes, is standing there. Ideal opportunity to sort out once and for all. Hani and others who are present, they are giving hint. They're saying certain words. They're saying, what nonsense you are talking? Your head is right? What are you talking? Because they were giving hint to Muslim. Muslim does not want to come out. After a while, Ibn Ziyad left, Muslim did nothing. They started to fight with Muslim. Such a golden, ideal opportunity to sort this shaitan out, you lost, you missed. What's wrong with you? What Muslim answered is history. This tells us why after 14 centuries still we say, Ya Hussain, Labbaik Ya Hussain, Labbaik Ya Hussain. You know what Muslims say? He said, Innal Iman Qaid al-Fatah. Allahu Akbar. Hussein's. And why Muslims said, oh people, listen, Iman, faith in Allah is like a chain. Allahu Akbar. It chains your hand. If you have an Iman, you cannot have deception. Allahu Akbar. If you have an Iman, you cannot be terrorist. You cannot kill people from behind. Allahu Akbar. This is the sentence of Muslim ibn Aqil, shining over the history, over the centuries. Oh. Same Muslim who is so principled, based, Allahu Akbar. In the night of 8th of Zul-Hijjah, all alone in the streets of Kufa. Allahu Akbar. Gharib of Kufa, Mazloom of Kufa, my salam on you, O Muslim ibn Aqil. Allahu Akbar. That night, I don't want to go in detail, he was seeking for a place to sleep. Allahu Akbar. Couple of weeks ago, people were fighting over who must host Muslim. Everybody wanted to host Muslim. All of a sudden, no one is there to even give one night shelter to Muslim. Muslim walking in the streets of Kufa, dark streets of Kufa, didn't get anywhere until reaches somewhere, stops, gets tired, exhausted, sits on the stoop of the house. Allahu Akbar. After a while, a woman comes out of this house. He says, oh Shaykh, why you are sitting here? Don't you know how times are bad? Everybody is doubtful and everybody is suspicious of everybody. Go get away from here. Go, don't you have a home to go? Don't you have family to go? Go. Why are you sitting on my stoop? Muslim said, if somebody does not have a home where he must go. She said, what do you mean by? Don't you have a home in Kufa? He said, I'm not from Kufa. She asked, from where you are? Muslim said, I'm from Medina. So from Medina? From city of my beloved Rasulullah? Allahu Akbar. He said, yes. She asked, from what family? Muslim answered, from Bani Hashim. Allahu Akbar. This Mu'mina placed her head down and said, I'm sorry. You are from Bani Hashim? You are from the family of the Prophet? What part of the family? Now, Muslim could not hide anymore. He said, Ana Muslim ibn Aqil Safir Hussain. Oh Mu'mina, I am no one but Muslim ibn Aqil, the brother of Hussain, a representative of Hussain to Kufa. This woman opened the door for Muslim. Muslim, come inside. Muslim, come inside. Allahu Akbar. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. My apologies. Allahu Akbar. Muslim spent night there. But the son of the same woman went to inform. Muslim is hiding in my mother's house. Early morning assault starts. Again Muslim, listen, brothers, look how Muslim is high. How Karbala has established extremely high levels and standards. When they wanted to attack on the house of this woman, Muslim said, sorry, she is my host. We people don't trouble our host. You want to fight with me? Let me come out. Allah. My salam on you, Muslim ibn Aqil. One side all alone Muslim, other side hundreds of soldiers attacking on Muslim. Allahu Akbar. What a battle in the streets of Kufa. Finally they arrested Muslim while he was injured, full of wounds. Allahu Akbar. Brought to the court of Ibn Ziyad when Muslim refused to greet Ibn Ziyad. Now I don't want to say further what happened. Let me take you to the caravan of Hussain. Allahu Akbar. Imam Hussain left Makkah with his family, with his children, on his way toward Kufa. All of a sudden some people said, we see somewhere oasis, some trees and water in front of us. Imam said, I don't think there is any oasis in this area. Try to look carefully what is there. They said, no, sorry, it's not trees, it's not palm trees, it's not oasis, it is some people who are coming. Imam said, okay, let them come, let us wait. Some group of people came. When they came near, Imam asked from them, tell us from where you people are coming. They said, Ya Aba Abdullah, we are coming from Kufa. We are coming from Kufa. Imam asked, how was the situation of Kufa when you left Kufa? They said, Imam, we would like to speak secretly. We can't speak in front of people. Again, another shining principle of Karbala. Hussain said, I have nothing to hide from my own country. Say whatever you want to say. Now these people also narrated in amazing, touching manner. Therefore Karbala's history really goes, penetrates in the hearts. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You know how they narrated? They said, Hussain, Aba Abdullah, Yabna Rasulullah, you want to know what was situation in Kufa? Let you want us to tell you? He said, yes, please. He said, Hussain, we left Kufa while bodies of Muslim ibn Aqil and Hani ibn Urwa were tied in the ropes and snagged and pulled in the streets of Kufa. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Imam said, وَمِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ رِجَالٌ صَدَقُوا مَا عَاهَدُوا اللَّهَ عَلَيْهِ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَضَى وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. Imam recited this verse of Quran. Allahu Akbar. But I don't know, brothers. I don't know. Everybody who was around from the men, they heard news of the martyrdom of Muslim ibn Aqil. But now Hussein's responsibility, Hussein's difficult job, how to inform children of Muslim ibn Aqil. How to inform daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil. Imam asked Zainab, go bring Muslim ibn Aqil's daughter out. They brought this young daughter of Muslim ibn Aqil. She came, sat next to Imam. You know what Imam started to do? Imam started to place his hand over the head of this young daughter of Muslim, rubbing the hand on the head. Do you know what this girl said? He said, oh uncle, what is the news? You are placing your hand on my head like people do it to the orphans. Imam replied, yes, my daughter. Yes, my daughter, indeed. You are orphan today.